Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Steve with LRM. Today we're going to talk about replacing the drag link. So if you guys don't know what that is, that's this bad boy, right? Right now, today we have a Freightliner Cascadia. It's a 2019, but just keep in mind, it's pretty much the same. Two castle nuts, and then of course you'll have some cotter pins to go with it. Now the only difference is maybe the size of the castle nut, right? So just determine what kind of socket you need. There are gonna be a basic few things that you're gonna need. But before I jump into this, guys, I need you guys, don't forget to subscribe. I wanna get some more content coming your way. Don't forget to pound those like buttons of the videos that you like and love and may be questionable. And then you guys, if you have any questions or any concerns that I could probably answer or make videos of, don't forget to leave a comment at the bottom. So now let's get back into this fun stuff. So let's talk about a few things that you're going to need, right, for tools. All right, you guys are gonna need a hammer or my little BFH, right? I'm not gonna pronounce it out. You guys should know what a BFH is by now if you guys looked it up. Also, a flathead screwdriver, all right? I'm today gonna use a flat needle nose. You guys can use vice grips. All we're doing is to grab the cotter pins out and then bend them around, all right? But I like to use my flat nose, all right? You're gonna use your 1/2 inch cordless impact or air, depending on what you guys have, all right? And then you're gonna need your socket, which this is 1 inch and 5/16, all right? Don't forget the important thing, right? Make sure you have your parts ready too. I do apologize for the noise. It is raining today in Florida with some thunder and lightning in the background. Also, when you guys get a new drag link, it does not come with cotter pins. So don't forget to get your extra cotter pins. Try not to reuse the same ones. Only do it in case you happen to drop one, you can't find one, but then replace it. Always replace the cotter pins. Let's hop in to what we're gonna start with on this truck on removing the drag link. Now, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you what to look for. But on this truck, I looked around, I just didn't have a truck that had a bad drag link. But I'm gonna show you where you're gonna do to test it. I'm gonna talk about if it has to be loose. You grab it with one hand, you're gonna turn it in a rotation like this, all right? And if you can move it up and down, right? Then that means it's indicated that it is bad. Now, if you're doing two hands and like putting everything into it and you kick it and then it moves, that doesn't mean it's bad, all right? It's proper, it's gonna pivot. You just don't wanna grab it with one hand and be able to twist it. That means it's bad and you need to replace it. So right now, let's hop into this. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do, how to remove a castle nut, and also your cotter pin. So let's hop in it. All right guys, so here's our Freightliner Cascadia. The first thing I would highly recommend that you do is you turn your steering wheel outward, right? So we can get ourselves in here. Not only that, it gives you a great option for one, to strike the ends of the drag link, because that's what you're gonna need to do with your hammer. So before we get started, what we're gonna do is we're gonna inspect, right? Grab a rag, a rag, put it on the bar. So this one, like I said, I'm trying to do with all my might, and I can't move it, right? So this is a good drag link. Now, if you grab it with one hand and you move it and it moves, then the drag link is bad. Also, if you push and pull, right? If you hear a little popping, because it's in the joint, that means it's bad. And the drag link needs to be replaced, all right? And that's how you inspect the drag link. I am gonna show you how to do a few things in steps. We're not gonna completely remove it, but what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to remove the cotter pin, right? So what you're gonna do is I'm gonna grab my needle nose, and you're gonna bend these tabs up, right here. If you guys can see it, that's your cotter pin. So I flatten these, and I'm gonna grab the other side, all right? Get as close as you can, and then pry. So you see how it's coming out slow? Now here comes the flathead screwdriver I told you. Put it here so you can get more leverage, and then pull and see how it's coming through? Just like that. Once you get the cotter pin out, just put it off to the side. And then, like I said, you can see how chewed up it is. That's why I said I highly recommend that you replace it. Then you grab your gun. Now, I told you guys it was 1 inch and 15/16. I was wrong. It's 1 inch and 5/16. All right, put it over the castle nut, and if you guys remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. All right, that came off real smooth. So what I would do is you put the castle nut back on, And the reason why they call it a castle nut, you can see, right? Little notches, it looks like a little castle. Put it back on the end, just where it's flush, just like that, right? See how it's flush? And then I would get my hammer. Now, if you guys got a bigger hammer, even better. So this is the one I'm using today. And like I said, what you can do is, you see how the reason why I want it flat? You would just strike it, and I would strike here as well, underneath, just like this. And sometimes just doing that, and then give it a little strike. So you guys are gonna have to do that a few more times, and then you'll notice, because this will pop out, and you should be able to grab it, and it'll be loose. And then what you do is you'll do the same thing on the opposite side, right? You'd pull the cotter pin out, take your gun, remove the castle nut, and then put it down, like I said here, flush, and then strike down, and then hit here as well on the sides. So there might be a few times you have to do it and put a good swing, because just remember, guys, you're replacing this. So it doesn't matter. The castle nuts, if you mushroom them or damage them, it doesn't matter, because it comes with brand new castle nuts. All you want to do is get the part out. And then once you get it back installed, all you do is you tighten it back up, and you'll see right here, right on this shaft, you could probably see that little hole right there? That's where your cotter pin goes, right? So what you do is you tighten this up until it's completely tightened with your gun. And then once you have it tight and snugged, watch, I'll just do it on this one. And then all you're doing is looking for the hole. And there you go. See that? So if you go too far, just back it up a smidge, like I did here. And you can see it's still nice and tight. Because sometimes you're not going to be able to go all the way over to meet up to the hole. And once you do, just put a new cotter pin in, just like that. It'll fit right in the castle nut. And what you do is you grab the long end, and you're going to bend it around, just like that. And then you do the same thing to the other side. Once you get everything installed, the castle nut with the new cotter pin, then you'll see a grease fitting here, and then one right here. Grease those. All you want to do is just see this bulge. Once you see it bulging, then you know you have grease. Do not put grease until it comes out. All right, a lot of shops will put grease where you see it spooging out. All they're doing is breaking the seal. We got to keep the grease in to keep it lubricated. If they say that grease has to come out to say that's properly greased, that's false. All you got to do is see this thing bulge up. You see how spongy it is? That's what you want. You want to hold that grease in. All right, you shouldn't see grease coming out to the sides. That's improper greasing. All right, guys, so that was the drag link. So a quick recap, right? The tools, 1/2 inch impact. It could be air or electric. As you can see, my electric did the job. The socket, again, right? 1 5/16". Needle nose pliers is what I use. You guys can use anything else, because our goal is to remove the cotter pin. And the flathead, if you guys notice, it comes out, and I just use it as a prying point, all right? Then also your BFH. If you got bigger, go ahead and use it, all right? And don't forget the parts, right? Your drag link, it'll come like this. Now, just want to emphasize as well, this is your new castle nut, right? These caps here, the orange and yellow, remove them. They do not go on there brand new, all right? So they do remove. Once you do that, you'll see the boot, all right? And you can actually properly see the hole. And then you put the castle nut on it. And also remember, guys, get new cotter pins. They do not come with them. And before anybody calls me out, yes, this is not the correct part for this truck. It is longer, but it looks exactly the same, but longer, all right? And then once you guys get everything installed, don't forget to grease it. So that was everything that we talked about. It was the drag link. If you guys like what you saw today, don't forget to pound that like button. If you have any questions or concern of what you saw, don't forget to leave a comment at the bottom. And guys, subscribe. I want to throw more content your way to save money. See you guys around at the next video.